Street Fighter 6 continues to roll along with yet another wave of fighters to hit the scene. This time we have my boy Sagat, Alex with a much needed glow up from Street Fighter 5, everyone's fan favorite spy Crimson Viper, and Ingrid. Yeah, Ingrid. Remember her, guys?
Who?
Yeah, I don't blame you. Ingrid is probably the most obscure Street Fighter character ever made. And I mean playable characters. Though the Monitor Cyborg is probably a bit more obscure than she is. Who is Ingrid? Where did she come from? And why was she met with a mix of surprise and apathy? Let's get to the bottom of it. Finding out who Ingrid is should be a cakewalk because I have the official encyclopedia. This bad boy and the Tiamat guide was the backbone of my research, and I was working on these storyline videos a while back for Street Fighter. Anyway, let's take a look and oh, that's unexpected. Ingrid isn't even listed in this book at all. Hell, even Maki made it in the book, and she only had one game too. Well, this one's a bust, but there is one other book I can use. The Capcom 30th Anniversary Character Encyclopedia. And wouldn't you know who won the pony? She's on page 84. Alright, let's give it a read, shall we? As the last wholly original 2D character that Capcom ever drew, Ingrid marks the end of an era for Capcom's fighting game franchises. Ironically, she was originally intended to be the company's first 3D fighter, designed for a canceled title called Capcom Fighting All-Stars. Instead, she made her debut in Capcom Fighting Evolution as the only new character in a traditional 2D style that mixed combatants from all the company's most popular fighting game series. Capcom Fighting Evolution didn't have much of a storyline, so Ingrid's true nature wouldn't be apparent until her appearance in the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. There, she seemed to be a time traveler gunning for M. Bison's Psycho Drive that she claims was stolen from her. She also cryptically declared herself to be a messenger from the stars, but that may refer to her fighting style, which seems to use the light of the sun to fuel her powerful special moves. Well, to be honest, we briefly covered a lot of this in my Capcom Fighting Collection 2 video a while back, but let's elaborate on it a bit. Not much is known about the premise of Fighting All-Stars, but it involves a bunch of Capcom characters being called to Metro City by Mike Hagar to track down some codes to disarm a mini nuke. Apparently, Ingrid possesses one of the codes and is somehow connected to the final boss, Avel. It is here where we get our first mention of her being a goddess with sun powers. And that's pretty much it. The game got canned after a few arcade location tests, and then Capcom decided to see fit and save Ingrid and bring her over to the much reviled Capcom Fighting Evolution. So, Fighting Evolution is not great, and is a crossover game, so there's fuck all for a story, but Ingrid does have an ending courtesy of Udon's artist, so let's have a look. Well, regardless of how great this art is, I still know jack shit about this woman. I feel like I know less than what I started with. Maybe her move list will shed some clues? Okay, well, she does possess sunlight powers and some interesting counters, but nothing that screams goddess to me. It's like Athena Asamiya from KOF. If I didn't know her lore and her connection to Psycho Soldier and its connection to Athena, then I would assume that she was just throwing out ki like everyone else in the roster. Yeah, man, we gotta go deeper. Let's fire up Alpha 3 Max. Yep, we are bringing up Alpha 3 Max again for the 20th time. This time we're going to run through Ingrid's arcade ladder and see what's up. Alpha 3 is good for giving everyone a decent bit of insight on why they're beating each other's asses. Ingrid. A white-haired beauty clad in a mysterious aura. She is in a hurry. She has a problem that must be fixed fast. She is dashing towards the dark, ominous clouds covering Earth. I've got to get it back before something terrible happens. Well, she's mysterious and in a hurry. Okay, and is she dashing towards the clouds physically or metaphorically? So you fight some matches until we make our way to our mid-boss. Destruction. I'll destroy anything and everything. And just what do you expect to happen here? Where did you get that power? It is beyond your control. Silence! Prepare to meet your utter destruction. I guess I have no choice but to teach you a lesson.
You can't give it up! Go for it, man! You win!
Huh? What? Where am I? You saved me. Thank you. It seems someone was controlling you like an evil puppet. Do you have any idea who it is? An evil like that is dangerous. Yes. Something strange happened after I met Bison. Bison? I was told to look out for him. I bet he's the one using that piece for his own purposes. Farewell, Ryu. Good luck on your pursuit of knowledge. What? How do you know who I am? How do you know so much? So, she's looking for Bison and she can disrupt the Satsumi no Hado. She also mentioned a piece that got stolen by Bison. Then there's this whole bit about her knowing who Ryu is somehow without them never meeting prior to now. This sounds goddessy until you realize that Rose does all this shit on her own already. And she's just a fortune teller. And guess who shows up right before the last fight? I can't see your future or your past. All I see is a white haze. Who are you? And why are you after Bison? You have the power to read the streams of time, don't you? If that is the case, then wake up. The power he holds is dangerous. That power has always been mine. Yo, what? So they're implying that Bison didn't learn Psycho Power somehow, but it was something that he stole from this bitch? This also means that Rose's soul power was stolen from Ingrid too because it's just Psycho Power without the evil. Why isn't Ingrid going after her too, or Bison's alleged master if that's even legit canon? I'm getting off topic. You shouldn't worry. We'll keep that power in our custody. It shouldn't take me more than 15 minutes to get rid of Bison. So don't worry, Rose. You can enjoy yourself now. Who are you? I still can't see what's in your future. Remember me as a messenger from the stars. Farewell, Rose.
I've never seen a battle like this!
That uniform and that twisted face. There's no mistaking him. Bison, I'm going to seal your psycho power forever. So return that power now. You can't just take what you please. Your seal, your fate is linked to the psycho drive. Psycho what? You've even given it a ridiculous name. You can never master that power. Turn it before you get hurt. Who do you think you are? You've just sealed your fate. There won't be a trace left of you after you meet my psycho power. Your power? Is there no limit to your shamelessness?
You can't give it up!
Alright, so we fight Bison, and what have we learned so far? 1. Ingrid is a messenger from the stars. 2. Bison stole her power to make Psycho Power and the Psycho Drive. 3. She says we, so that means there are others like her out there somewhere. So far, nothing is screaming goddess to me. Done and done. You can give it back to me now. Ugh. How did you track me down all the way here? I'll never give up my power. I'll never give up Psycho Drive. How many times do I have to say it? It has always been my power. There's no reasoning with them, is there? The power is gathering an unbelievably sinister energy. What are you going to do? This is critical. Ha 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 ha. You're too late. Human hatred and fear are all feed into my psycho drive. I'll never stop receiving this limitless and never-ending evil. I have conquered death. No one can threaten me now. Say what you like. I will show you the very end of life itself. Is that a last request? Die! Huh? This can't be. How can this be? I can never be defeated. Impossible! The catalyst you used was too strong for a machine like that. This power has always been mine. No ordinary human can control it. I've spent too much time on this one. Time to get back to work. While I'm at it, I'll get rid of this terrible machine as well. Bison's power is extinguished. It's finally over now. But I still have no idea who that girl really was. Let's see. Next up is the year 2108, and I'll be up against... What? That monk who just passed by, that was Ryu? He sure is up to something interesting now. Ha 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 ha. Shadaloo is destroyed, and its leader M. Bison has vanished, as has Ingrid, the Psycho Drive power back in her hands. Okay, so let's make sure I'm reading this right. Ingrid chases Bison to his Psycho Drive, which is powered up by something she calls a catalyst, which looks like one of her hair clips, to be honest. Something happens to cause it to malfunction and kill Bison and his Psycho power. Ingrid then hijacks his Psycho Drive and rides it off into the sky, possibly to outer space, and she says she'll be back in the 2010s to fight Ryu or some shit. So far, she hasn't done anything that a handful of the people on the roster have done or will do at some point in the future. Kill Bison, check. Destroy the Psycho Drive, check. Clairvoyance, check. Her only feat that she really has to herself is her riding the Psycho Drive into space, which, honestly, Karine could do that with whatever fucking space program her family runs. Well, there is one more piece of lore that's tied to Ingrid, and it comes from an unlikely source. Street Fighter Cross Tekken is a lot of things, squandered potential more than anything, but it did try to integrate one of its main mechanics into the narrative. Pandora mode acts like a hyper state that you can access by sacrificing your partner for more power. So Pandora is just straight up Pandora's box, and Ingrid sent it down to Earth as a gift and to test how humanity would react to it. And humanity responded by beating the piss out of each other. Well, that's everything about Ingrid. She's a time traveler and a sun goddess, but even that is open up to interpretation. Honestly, she feels more like an alien to me more than anything else. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting someone else to show up like Sodom, Remy, or Fei Long. Or hell, even Maki. Ingrid was on nobody's bingo card, and yet that might work in her favor. She doesn't have a long legacy like most Street Fighter characters, so Capcom could go nuts with her and possibly not piss people off. Or at the very least, we'll get some form of answers as to what her backstory is, or if she's actually a goddess for real. In any case, she might not be the most wanted choice, but she's easily the most interesting. This is an exciting time to be a fighting game fan. Capcom is pulling out Ingrid, Marvel is doing a solo tag fighter with Arxis, Virtua Fighter is making a comeback, hell, even NetherRealm is doing something cool for Mortal Kombat fans with that collection that they announced. And since all these games are complete, you don't have to worry about them being killed off in a year and a half.